In smaller cities, there's much less expectation and demand for things or bigger homes or nicer cars or going and traveling and doing and restaurants, and all of that is completely different than if you live in a city like Phoenix or LA or New York or Paris or Shanghai or wherever. The dating life is totally different, and a lot of the beginning stages of dating is making sure that the person you're wanting to be with lives where they're wanting to be. And if they don't, figure that out right away. Because if you're with somebody who's like, no, I want to go live on a farm in Minnesota, or I want to go be on the outskirts somewhere in Canada, I just like to be on my own and be out in nature and all that, you better figure all that out before you get married. And that's actually a much bigger problem than a lot of people realize, because they don't talk about it. Nobody thinks like, oh, I met this girl in downtown Scottsdale, and here we are, and a few years later, and she's like, oh no, I want to raise my kids in the middle of nowhere because it's like a more wholesome life, or whatever that looks like, or vice versa. The guy might feel that way. But once you can figure out and establish where you want to live long term, then you got to start looking preferably for people who live in those areas, for people who are already either there, or if it's like an online dating platform or something, search for that, like, screen that out, ask them before you even go on a date. A lot of people are they're very worried about being too forward, or if someone is too forward with them already on the dating apps, they kind of like push back, and they'll tell me like, oh, this guy's already asking me like if I'm looking for a serious relationship. A lot of people, when they're looking at what the profiles are on dating apps, what the guys do wrong, it seems like almost every time, every handsome, nice, well-off, goal-oriented, great job, like great family, every guy that is so great, has so much going for them, they almost do the opposite of what women do, looking for like the bad guy, the bad boy or whatever. Men just look for these women that are like beautiful. They just want somebody who's like a 9 or a 10. They want somebody who presents really pretty, and then they go and they start dating them, and they're like wondering like, why isn't this working? Like, why is she just after my money? Or why is she just after her looks? Or why doesn't she give me enough attention? Why is she all about herself? Why is she, talking to other guys? Why is she always looking for the next best thing? Why is she always taking pictures of herself? You're picking somebody from the start that isn't necessarily into you, or isn't necessarily into a serious relationship. They're into themselves. They're into whatever it is that works well for them. They're into, however to advance their life, which is fine. If that works for you, for some guys that works. Like some guys just want that and they'll take whatever comes with it. But if you're looking for a wholesome girl, the most important thing to start out with is not go just for looks, because any woman in the world, believe me, I've seen women over time in every age group that just kind of started out like a regular looking woman, and then they put